Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for my playthrough of a complete mission of Warfighter World War II, specifically the Pacific module. Now, apologies it's taken me so long to get round to this. I promised some of you more than a year ago I'd play a mission from this game, so here it is. Um, Rather fortunately, or perhaps not, depending on your view of these things, it is 80 years on from the middle of the terrible Peleliu campaign, so as I'm playing the US Marines, it seemed only fitting to set my mission in the midst of that awful experience. Um, so here we are. Yes, the battle for Peleliu is at its height. Me and my four guys, who I will introduce you to in a minute, have been selected, yay, by platoon to go forward. Our mission is quite a simple one, so I had a bit of leeway in choosing what I wanted to do. The game's quite generous that way. So we are being sent on a short patrol. Our mission is purely to move a short distance ahead of the platoon, scout a local river where we've been told there's a crossing, and if there does prove to be a crossing, which I'm pretty sure it will, we're to secure it and hold it for 2 turns, which, time is variable in this game, so 2 turns could mean anything. Um, as usual, we have received intel on what to expect by way of Japanese resistance. And funnily enough, the boys in the intel office have said pretty much the same thing they said since we landed on this island, which is that resistance is probably going to be sporadic, light, and disorganized. Yeah. Anyway, crumpling up that piece of paper and filing it in the bin, I am expecting things to be a little tougher than that. But anyway, now's probably a good time to introduce you to the brave boys in my squad. So the way this game works, for those of you who are not that familiar with it, you have to have at least one player soldier. In this case, mine is young Mr. Benson here, that patriotic fellow in the photo. He is something of a badass. He's got good health, he's got a decent loadout, he can carry lots of things, and he has +4 in hand-to-hand combat, which, trust me, in this game is rather good. His personal attributes are hunter, gung-ho, and close combat, so essentially he's good at most things. His unifying thing is that he likes to get to grips with the enemy. So good man, good man. I've equipped him with the M1 rifle because it is one of my favorite US infantry weapons. And of course, it's only been a couple of years since the dear old Marines are able to give up their Springfields and get the M1. In fact, no, come to think of it, it's probably been just about a year. So yeah, enjoy the semi-auto. I do love US rifle grenades. They are so good. So I've given him 3 to bring along. And of course, he has his bayonet. Binoculars, because this is a recon mission. It makes sense, right? And also, very peculiar thing about this game, they include the weirdest stuff among your equipment. Quality boots, as if you'd have any other kind. I don't know. The fact that that card even exists puts me in mind of poor old Benson wandering around in his boots and his underwear, not because I haven't equipped him with a shirt. So, but anyway, I think you're not meant to think that way. But the quality boots are good. In addition to him, we have a non-player soldier. Now, these are a bit like non-player characters. They're sort of halfway between a player character soldier and the guys who are really bit part characters who you'll meet in a minute. So this is, what's your name? Kaneseka. Kaneseka? Sorry, I apologize if I'm murdering your name. But anyway, he's got a fairly decent loadout. I quite like him. He comes with his own weapons, already chosen, as the non-player soldiers tend to do. He's got a reasonable hand-to-hand ability, but the only problem is the poor guy's clearly been in the war a bit too long. He's proven that he has a susceptibility to tropical illnesses, which is not really such a great thing. So he is unwell, which is not going to help him. Similar to me, he's got his M1 rifle. He likes his K-bar knife. He seems to prefer that to the bayonet. and he's lugging along a Mark II grenade, so pretty decent loadout. And finally, we have our last two fellows. Now, these guys are what they call the squad soldiers in this game. Squad soldiers are very basic. Most of their actions and equipment are accounted for on the card. They're very abstracted. They may have one or two things that make them stand out, like Sprock here has an experience point. He's obviously been doing this for a while. Bowers over there, you can see he's got that 1,000-yard stare, poor guy. Now, he's got an entrenching tool, but I mean, I'm hoping we're going to move fast on this mission. I liked him for his combat stats. He kind of came with the entrenching tool, and no one can persuade him to let it go. So, all right then, whatever. But he is prone to panic. He's probably been in the war a little too long. So, unlike Sprock, who learned useful lessons from his experience, poor old Bowers is a bit on the jittery side, so I'm going to have to watch him. So that is my squad. And as you can see, we don't have all that far to travel, I hope, in order to get to our destination. So I've got my hand of cards. Now, because Benson, as the leader, has 3 points of combat experience, I have a 10-card hand, which is massive. So the analysis paralysis in this game is going to be, well, let's just say you guys are going to get very frustrated watching me make decisions. The other thing is, because this is a patrol mission, it allows me to recon the location card deck, basically to choose my first location card. Now, to spare you all the agony of watching me choose a card, I did it before I started the video, and I've decided to go for the bamboo patch. Okay, very pretty, I hear you say, but why the bamboo patch? Those of you who know this game will see it has a horrific entry cost. And my guys are not actually that mobile, not really. The reason I have chosen it is because you're very unlikely to meet any hostiles here. Not only do I think the intelligence report was a load of bunk, I also, for the purposes of this mission, am very conscious that there's only 4 of us. And those completely unreasonable guys at HQ said I couldn't use any divisional assets. I mean, what is the point of having the United States massive industrial might at my back if I can't support my 4-man patrol with artillery, aircraft, and tanks? But no. So there we go. So anyway, I have chosen my bamboo patch, which I can add to my hand for free. And also, by sheer good fortune, I started with 2 location markers in my hand. I did shuffle the deck, I promise you. So these are instantly put in the discard pile, and I get to draw 2 more locations. If my luck is in, they will be very nice locations, and I will have this very rapid bridge to the target area. Let's see what I get. Killing ground. Oh. Okay, right. And what next? Hot jungle. All right, at least I get some choice in which I get to play first. I think we're going to start with our nice little bamboo patch just to get us going. Now, it's a free action to play a location card. So I'm going to place that there. And now we check for hostiles. Now, to do that, I refer to the hostile card, the hostile table. Because I've only got 45 requisition points worth of guys and equipment, that's the target number. And the way this works is you draw a card from the hostile deck and see whether the number is equal to or less than. Look at that. Sporadic, light, and disorganized. Yeah, right. Ah, I'm in luck. The NCO has a value of 2, but the location only has a value of 1. Now, when that happens, it means nobody is there. I'm liking this. This is good. This is good. Let's keep it that way. So, there is no opposition in sight. Nice. Now, my fellow has a base movement of 2, and the boots add 1 to the movement value, which is nice. So I have a value of 3. None of my other cards give me a movement boost. So because the bamboo patch has an entry cost of 5, I have to discard 2 cards in order to enter it. So I'm going to, I obviously want to keep the terrain. I'm not too worried about extra magazines, and I don't really want to do much scrounging. Again, I want us to move fast and secure the objective, so I'm going to discard those 2 cards. I'm sure I'll regret it later. And soldier number 1, i.e. Benson, is going to move into the bamboo patch. So far, so good. Now, what about number 2? Now, he's fast. Good old, what's your name again? Carnesecca, I'm so sorry. You have a movement of 3, which is really quite helpful. So, I like Snapshot, and I like Hole in... Actually, Hole in One, it's more a benefit for me, and I don't have any thrown grenades, so I'll lose that one. And oh yes, I forgot to spend an action by moving. Actually, no, I didn't. I'll use move out. Sorry, that was a bit retrospective, but it saves me an action point. Actually, do I want to wait? Oh no, you see what I mean about decision making. No, because there's so little we can actually do, I'm going to keep that move out for a rainy day. Camouflage. Mortar support is very expensive. Much as I would love it for this patrol, I might do away with it. So that gives Carnesecca the ability to move into the bamboo grove with me. What about my other 2 little friends? Oh, this guy's going to be very slow. No, I'm going to I really want to keep these cards, but then we do have to keep moving. All right. I'm going to very reluctantly get rid of these 4. Just so that Bowers over there can come and join us. And that leaves me with my 2 precious terrain cards, which I really don't want to give up right now. But I wonder... I might use my other action to draw cards. So I can draw up to 10, which is quite nice. Oh, that is excellent. We have more choices. Even more importantly, we have another location marker, which means I get another one of these. Heavy jungle. Ooh, that expensive to move into, but not bad. I mean, in terms of keeping the hostiles at bay, that is not bad at all. So, okay, I have some choices, and I don't necessarily need to enter the killing ground, which, look at that. 8 points worth of enemies. That really would be a killing ground. Okay, so let's leave that at that. So, yes, my whole point in doing that was I can bring my last guy, Sprock, over. So he has a movement rating of only 1, because he's a bit of a slow coach. I'm the only player soldier, so hand signals is a bit useless to me. That's quite expensive in experience points. Maybe. Ooh. So I have paid... Actually, do you know what? So he's got a movement rating of 1. Advance is a really great card for making him go faster, but I'll have to upgun it by paying an experience point. I think it's worth it. I'll pay an experience point, upgun the advance card so I can play it on Sprock there. So his movement is now 4, which means I only need to discard. I'll discard hand signals. So that wasn't too bad, actually. Well done for advancing, Sprock. So all of us are in the grove now. Now I need to stop being naughty and actually turn over my activated markers for all the guys who've moved. Now, is there anything useful that I can do this turn? No, I don't think so. I've already used up a lot of actions, and it's not a good idea to overreach yourself in this game. So I'm going to be happy with that. That's a good level of achievement for one turn. There are no hostiles in play. So I'll just advance the mission timer. We've got 10 turns left and we're well on our way. This is looking good so far. So we get into turn 2. Well, the next turn at any rate. The mission timer counts backwards in this, so technically it's turn 10. Which terrain do I want to play next? I'm certainly not playing Killing Ground. That would be crazy. I think let's carry... Oh, before I do anything else, because the bamboo patch has an environment check, we need to make sure we aren't affected by the heat. So before I do anything else, I'll roll our heat resistance checks. Oh dear. Benson rolled a 2 and you need a 4+. Now, luckily for me, he's got the ability Hardy Hot. So despite the fact that he failed his roll, he can just cash in his Hardy token and he's not affected. What about Karnaseka? Oh, he's doing fine. He got a 10. Bowers? No, Bowers is feeling it. I don't want to give him a wound because squad soldiers can be quite fragile. But it does mean he ends up with a suppress marker, which is very unfortunate. And what about Sprock? Oh, Sprock manages it. So, yeah, poor Bowers is feeling the heat a bit, but everyone else is okay. So, what are we going to go for, guys? I think, in the interests of keeping quiet, let's go for the heavy jungle, because that's such a good idea. I hope I'm not putting you guys through too much hellish terrain. That's an entry cost of 6. This is going to be a bit slow. So, oh yes, I forgot to spend an action on playing the bamboo patch last time. Apologies for that. I did have enough actions left to do it, but I should have done that in sequence. Heavy jungle is free to play, so we don't have a problem. Except the fact that it'll take us forever to get there. So my movement is 3, unless I find a way of augmenting it. Well, I think to get myself up to the required 6, I'm going to get rid of Killing Ground because I don't really want that card anymore. I might get rid of Cautious because that comes with an experience point cost. And I'll get rid of Ready as well. So that gives me enough movement points to press forward into the heavy jungle. What about Karneseka? I'd really like him to come with me. He's got that good turn of speed with 3. All right, I'll bite the bullet, cash in my remaining 3 cards. He flips his action token over. Oh, yes, I forgot to do his fever check last turn. He passed. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So he's still with me and he's not feeling too feverish. That's good. So he joins me in the heavy jungle. But I am now out of cards. Quite badly out of cards. Right, I might use my second action to draw. So back up to 10. Okay, I think we can do this. Oh, while I'm here, it might be a good time to let you guys know, those of you who've been following my channel for a while will know that my phone is at best very temperamental. And I'm afraid, despite my best ministrations, its memory is beginning to fail. And a lot of my videos are now going to be restricted to half an hour if they're lucky. So what I'm going to do, until I can get a better device, is rather than go for my usual effusive sign-offs, I'm going to go for something much quicker so I can spend more time basically talking about the game rather than telling you guys how awesome you are. I mean, please take that as read anyway. I love you guys to bits, but it might be better if I just, for the purposes of these episodes at any rate, I'll be really effusive when we complete the mission, if I just do a quick sign off. So I've just thought of one that's really appropriate for this game. If you hear me break off and suddenly say, "What was that? Everybody down," that means the video's about to cut out. So let's just do a quick rehearsal, okay? You ready, guys? What was that? Everybody down. Ooh, you've all done this before. Well done. Okay, right, everyone up. Let's press on. So 2 of us have entered the heavy jungle, and we do have enough. Young Bowers there is going to have to spend an action to get rid of his suppression token, which is a pain in the bum. And then, because he's a slow coach, I'm going to have to chuck 5 cards. Blimey. Well, we're not exactly getting naval fire support. I might ditch clear orders and Overwatch as well. So that's 3 so far. Let's get rid of cautious. So that's 4. I need to do 1 more. That's quite useful. Oh, that's very useful. Oh, an advance again. Dang it. All right. I'll reluctantly get rid of combine. Actually, do you know what? No, I'll save that. I'll save that for Sprock because he's slow as well. So, okay, I'll get rid of those 5. And that gives young Bowers, at the cost of his second action point, a chance to join us in the heavy jungle. Meantime, Sprock here is going to spend his experience point so that he can advance. So he's got a total of 4 movement for this turn. Oh, these are so useful. All right, I'm going to get rid of those 2 with deep reluctance. But at least it means that young Sprock is there. Ooh, do you know what I totally failed to do? I totally failed to draw for a hostile when I played heavy jungle. That was stupid of me. Luckily for me, that patch of heavy jungle is way too unimportant to bother the local Japanese commander, so I see nothing of him. Well, that's just great. This is why we pick the rough terrain, boys. So, we're back in that situation where we've used a fair number of action points. I'm not sure I want to press my luck. So, with no hostiles there, we are just going to end the turn, and I will flip all these back. Ready us for the next turn. So far, so good. I'm liking this mission. Japanese don't seem to have noticed we're here. In fact, if I'm feeling brave and stupid, it almost feels like the Japanese have quit the war. I may be crazy. And I'll just do the turn countdown. So what do you say, boys? I think we can start to press on in a bit. I'm just going to have a think because I still have that amazing silver bullet card in case we run into trouble. And we've got the hot jungle, which would see us through to the river crossing. And it's free to play, which is nice. So I think we're doing pretty well so far. It's just us in the heavy jungle and all the sounds of... Wait, what was that? Everybody down!